As more and more startling revelations regarding the Epstein case come to light, it has become evident that Jeffrey Epstein's private island, Little St. James, takes center stage for being the perfect site for Epstein to revel in his nasty fantasies without fear of getting exposed. Every now and then, the disgraced banker was known to invite some rich and powerful people to his island so he could play host. While some have hypothesized that the bulk of Epstein's guests shared this wicked taste, there's only one way to find out. With this video, I will be disclosing some privileged kids that went on Epstein Island and the events that happened during their visit. Leslie Wexner. Les Wexner, the creator of the L brand retail empire, met Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-1980s through mutual acquaintances who recommended Epstein's financial ability. Epstein, known for his self-created mythology of exclusively working with millionaires, saw an opportunity to manage Wexner's personal funds and took on the duty. Wexner had no idea how vast the web he was about to enter was. Wexner, a man of enormous money and accomplishment, put his whole trust in Epstein. In July of 1991, Wexner granted Epstein power of attorney over his personal fortune, allowing him broad flexibility to act on his behalf. This level of confidence was unusual, as Epstein now had the right to make financial choices on behalf of one of the world's wealthiest individuals. Epstein rapidly got heavily involved in Wexner's personal ventures, with his signature appearing on real estate paperwork, tax filings, and corporate records for Wexner's personal holdings. It appeared that Epstein's influence was growing alongside Wexner's empire, as Wexner's clothing brands, including the lingerie giant Victoria's Secret, gained global recognition. So did Epstein's wealth and influence. However, the true nature of their relationship and the extent of Epstein's involvement in Wexner's affairs would soon be revealed. Epstein began to acquire luxury homes all around the world, including a 10,000 square foot house near to Wexner's estate in Ohio. The proximity of their residences sparked suspicions, as Epstein appeared to benefit substantially from his relationship with Wexner, and the two men appeared to have created a bond that extended far beyond their work together. One of the most remarkable buildings in Epstein's portfolio was a palatial estate at 9 East 71st Street on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Property records showcased that Wexner purchased the property through a company he owned in 1989, but Epstein claimed in a 1996 interview with the New York Times that he owned the property, boasting about his ownership. Conflicting accounts emerged, with Wexner's spokesperson stating that Wexner never lived at the residence and only sold his stake in the company that owned the property to Epstein in 1998. The contradicting claims regarding the ownership of the Manhattan mansion sparked doubts about Wexner and Epstein's relationship. To the outside world, it appeared that Epstein was the one benefiting from the property, organizing parties and making it clear that he owned it. The circumstances surrounding the transfer of ownership and the benefits Epstein derived from the property added to the mystery. Nevertheless, one thing became clear after the debacle: Wexner and Epstein's financial entanglements extended beyond real estate. Criminologist Tom Volo and financial investigative journalist Roddy Boyd discovered a labyrinth of trusts linked to Wexner, with Epstein named as a trustee. These trusts, whose names included health and science interests, arts interests, and community interests, received huge gifts of shares in Wexner's corporation, The Limited. Between 1991 and 2006, Epstein orchestrated the sale of approximately $1.3 billion of firm stock held by these trusts, representing a significant pool of cash most commonly controlled by EP, while some of the money was probably used for charity purposes. Volo and Boyd identified a possible trend in which Epstein would liquidate a big amount of stock on behalf of these trusts, and then make large purchases for himself shortly thereafter, including residences, planes, and even his infamous private island. The source of Epstein's riches and the timing of these transactions raised suspicions. With the power of attorney provided by Wexner, Epstein had the capacity to convert part of Wexner's assets into his own use. The particular facts of how this occurred are unknown because private bank statements have not been made public, but the timing and major financial transactions reveal a deeper relationship between Wexner and Epstein than meets the eye. The relationship between Les Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein is a web of trust manipulation and allegations. Although many aspects of the relationship between Wexner and Epstein remained shrouded in mystery, it became abundantly clear that the two were more than just business partners when records emerged showing that Epstein hosted Wexner on his private island more than once. The specifics of the visit are unknown, but given the island's notoriety, some have theorized, if without proof, that Wexner was either involved or knew of Epstein's wrongdoing. In 2007, Wexner claimed to have severed ties with Epstein after learning about the missing money during the first federal investigation into Epstein's sexual crimes. Wexner maintained that he had no knowledge of Epstein's sexual predation prior to the investigation, but questions remain about how much Wexner truly knew and whether he turned a blind eye to Epstein's activities. Following Epstein's arrest in 2019, Wexner gave over documents to police, sparking conjecture about the nature of their connection and any remaining secrets. The timeline and significant events of Leslie Wexner's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein portray a complex and intriguing connection. Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman was born on August 5, 1967, in Palo Alto, California. Hoffman developed an early interest in technology and entrepreneurship. He attended Stanford University and earned a Bachelor in Science in Symbolic Systems and Cognitive Science. Hoffman's passions for the tech industry began to emerge during his time at Stanford. After finishing his undergraduate studies, Hoffman continued his academic career as a Marshall Scholar at Wolfson College, Oxford, where he earned a Master of Studies in Philosophy, further expanding his knowledge and intellectual prowess. Hoffman's career in the technology business began in 1994, when he joined Apple Computer. While at Apple, he worked on an early online service called eWorld, acquiring vital expertise in the vast-changing world of technology. However, it was in the field of entrepreneurship that Hoffman truly made his mark. In 1997, he co-founded his first company, SocialNet.com. As Hoffman's career evolved, he became more involved in finance and investment. He served on the board of directors for PayPal's breakthrough online payment system and eventually joined the firm full-time as chief operating officer. This employment helped him refine his commercial acumen and broaden his network in the technology industry. In 2002, Hoffman went on a groundbreaking endeavor that would confirm his image as a digital pioneer. He co-founded LinkedIn, a business-oriented social network with two former colleagues from SocialNet.com. LinkedIn immediately gained traction as one of the first successful platforms of its kind, connecting professionals from all around the world. The success of LinkedIn captured Hoffman into the spotlight, and his ownership in the company was projected to be worth billions of dollars. In 2016, Microsoft saw the enormous potential of LinkedIn and acquired the platform for a record $26.2 billion. As part of the deal, Hoffman joined the board of Microsoft, further consolidating his dominance in the digital industry. Aside from his work with LinkedIn, he has been a driving force in the artificial intelligence industry, seeing its potential to change a variety of areas. Hoffman was a founder-investor in OpenAI, an AI research business, and has been at the forefront of advances in this cutting-edge sector. In 2022, Hoffman co-founded Inflection AI, a firm focused on producing AI software products. Through his venture, he continues to promote AI development and its ability to tackle complex social challenges. Beyond his entrepreneurial ventures, Hoffman is a prolific angel investor, offering financial support to several companies across a variety of industries. Hoffman's contributions to the tech industry have not gone unnoticed. He is a published author with books like The Startup of You, The Alliance, and Blitz, scaling to his name. These books provide valuable insights into career development, talent management, and the rapid growth of successful companies. In addition to his literary endeavors, Hoffman hosts two popular podcasts, Master of Scale and Possible. Hoffman's effect extends beyond business. He is actively involved in philanthropic endeavors, serving on the boards of organizations such as Kia.org, Endeavor Global, and New America. Through his generous donations, he has had a huge impact on education, entrepreneurship, and addressing food insecurity. Despite his impressive successes, however, Hoffman has faced controversy. His name has been linked to Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, after reports of his visit to Epstein's private island emerged. Little St. James Island at the Caribbean has earned attention due to its link with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This private island, sometimes known as Pedophile Island, was a playground for the wealthy and powerful, where Epstein reportedly indulged in unlawful activities. Reid Hoffman's visit to the island raises eyebrows and sparks significant discussion. Hoffman, accompanied by Joy Ito, the former director of the MIT Media Lab, traveled to Little St. James Island in 2011 to raise funds for the MIT Media Lab, a renowned research institution. However, the association with Epstein's Island drew attention and raised questions about Hoffman's judgment and ethics. When Epstein's famed calendar, which detailed his social engagements, was made public, the broader public learned about the visit. Hoffman's name appeared on the calendar, showing his presence on the island. This revelation sent shockwaves through the IT world and beyond, prompting questions about Hoffman's relationship with Epstein and the ramifications it may have. It is worth noting that Hoffman has publicly acknowledged his relationship with Epstein and expressed deep regret for his involvement. In a statement, he apologized for any harm caused by his connection to Epstein and emphasized that he was unaware of the extent of Epstein's heinous activities at the time of his visit. Despite Hoffman's apologies, though, the issue surrounding his travel to Little St. James Island continues. Critics claim that his relationship with Epstein, even if unintended, raises major questions about his judgment and moral compass. They query how someone of Hoffman's prominence and influence could have been oblivious of Epstein's criminal acts, considering Epstein's well-known reputation. It is important noting that Hoffman's travel to Little St. James Island does not imply direct involvement in Epstein's explicit acts. However, the sheer association with such a controversial figure has placed a pall over his career and philanthropic endeavors. Bill Clinton. To completely comprehend the convoluted relationship between former US President Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, we need to go back to the early 2000s, when Epstein was at the height of his power and influence. During this period, Epstein's private plane, known as the Lolita Express, became a symbol of his luxurious lifestyle and served as the entryway to his own island, where he allegedly engaged in unlawful activities with young females. There are several reports of when and how both men met and became friends, but the public became aware of the two men's tight relationship following Clinton's first flight on Epstein's plane in 2002, shortly after leaving the presidency. It is reported that Clinton traveled to Africa on a humanitarian mission accompanied by Epstein, with the goal of promoting the Clinton Foundation's work and raising awareness about important issues facing the continent. However, as the media digs deeper, it has become clear that there is more to these trips than meets the eye. According to several sources, Clinton's relationship with Epstein extended beyond philanthropy into unethical behavior. Rumors and suspicion have circulated that Clinton may have been involved in the illegal conduct for which Epstein was eventually jailed. These speculations have been aggravated by the release of recently unsealed court records related to the Epstein case. The materials disclosed some surprising charges and put light on the involvement of notable figures, including Bill Clinton. While these documents don't specifically accuse Clinton of misconduct, they do address Epstein's statements that Clinton favors young girls. According to the disclosed documents, Clinton allegedly traveled on Epstein's private plane on numerous occasions, far more than the public previously believed. This private jet acted as a luxurious form of transportation for Epstein and his wealthy and prominent pals, giving them a discreet means of travel. But what was Clinton doing on this plane? Why would a previous US president identify himself with someone like Epstein? These questions have left many puzzled and intrigued about the nature of their relationship. Some argue that Clinton's contact with Epstein could have been entirely harmless. Others believe there could be more to the story. According to the disclosed records, Clinton took many rides on the Lolita Express in 2002 and 2003, raising questions about his knowledge of or participation in Epstein's criminal actions. It is important to note that Clinton's spokesperson has stated that he has not had any contact with Epstein in nearly 2 decades. However, the frequency of Clinton's trips on the private planes raised concerns about his familiarity with Epstein and his activities. But it doesn't end there. Clinton has also been accused of visiting Epstein's infamous island, known as Little St. James. This private island has earned a reputation for being a hidden retreat where the wealthy and powerful might engage in illicit activities away from prying eyes. The disclosed records reference the claim made by Epstein's former traveling masseuse, Virginia Jeffrey, who alleged that Clinton had supper on the island with 2 young attractive girls hanging on his arm. These charges have sent shockwaves across the media, fueling curiosity about Clinton's relationship with Epstein. In a manuscript cited by the Daily Mail, Jeffrey vividly described Clinton's visit to the island. She claimed that Clinton walked into the night with a beautiful woman on each arm, strolling into the darkness with 2 lovely girls around either arm. Jeffrey also revealed that Clinton sat next to these girls at dinner, teasing them with playful jokes and brassy comments. The text depicts a knight who engages in outrageous behavior and has no modesty. It is worth noting that these charges have not been proven in a court of law, and Clinton has denied any involvement in Epstein's criminal operations. His team argues that he has no link with Epstein's misdeeds and has not been accused of any criminal action related to him. As additional information continues to emerge, it is evident that this scandal is far from the unsealed court records that have pushed Bill Clinton's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein into the spotlight once more, leaving many doubting the nature of their friendship and Clinton's awareness of Epstein's activities. Alan Dershwitz. Alan Dershwitz's name has become linked with high-profile legal battles and divisive clients. With nearly 5 decades of experience, Dershwitz has established himself as one of the most distinguished lawyers and legal academics in the United States. Dershwitz is well known for his work in U.S. constitutional law and American criminal law, having taken on some of the most difficult and often unpopular cases and clients. Dershwitz has boldly defended persons accused of horrible crimes, including celebrities like Mike Tyson, Patty Hearst, and Julian Assange, as well as the notorious characters such as O.J. Simpson. Throughout his career, Dershwitz has been a passionate champion for his clients, frequently taking unpopular positions and fighting for their rights. He has won the majority of murder and attempted murder cases he has held, gaining a reputation as a strong defense attorney. However, it's not just his courtroom presence that has made Dershwitz a household name. He has also written extensively on politics and the law, authorizing works such as The Case for Israel and The Case Against Impeaching Trump. DT's strong support for Israel, as well as his participation in public debates about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, have helped to establish his reputation as a notable legal analyst. Dershwitz has defended numerous clients over the years, including Harry Rames, Julian Assange, Harvey Weinstein, and even Donald Trump. His willingness to take on difficult cases, as well as his commitment to defending the Constitution, have made him a sought-after legal expert and a divisive figure in the public eye. Dershwitz's involvement in high-profile cases, combined with Epstein's connections, created a dynamic in which their paths crossed on numerous occasions. When the two men eventually met, they formed a complex relationship. Alan Dershwitz and Jeffrey Epstein became intimate friends rather than just acquaintances. Their friendship lasted many years and was distinguished by their similar interests and ties in the legal and social sectors. Both Dershwitz and Epstein were immensely influential in their respective fields. Dershwitz was a well-known lawyer and legal scholar, and Epstein was a wealthy financier with connections to powerful individuals in various industries. During their friendship, Epstein's private island in Little St. James became a gathering place for the rich and powerful, and Dershwitz was no stranger to this exclusive retreat. According to recently unsealed documents related to the Epstein case, some of the alleged illegal activities occurred on this island. The documents, which have revealed several details about Epstein and his associates, have revealed a dark and disturbing side to Dershwitz's involvement with Epstein. One of the most significant charges is that DTS was aware of Epstein's activities and actively cooperated in them. Dershwitz allegedly had sexual contact with a minor named Jane Doe, who was pushed by Epstein to have sexual interactions with influential individuals. According to the documents, Dershwitz is accused of having sexual relations with Jane Doe on numerous occasions while she was a minor. These encounters allegedly occurred not only in Florida, but also on private planes in New York, New Mexico, and even on Epstein's private island, the infamous Little St. James. Dershwitz has angrily disputed these charges, claiming that he had done nothing illegal and demands the release of all papers to establish his innocence. He has also stated that the woman who initially accused him later filed her case, implying that she may have misidentified him. In his defense, Dershwitz has questioned the legitimacy of these charges, highlighting the hypocrisy of certain parties and movements. He has condemned radical feminists, the Me Too movement, and even the Hamas rapes of young Jewish girls, stating that these concerns are not given enough attention. The charges against DS have caused a heated debate, with fans and critics weighing in on the legitimacy of the claims. The truth behind these allegations has yet to be determined, and more investigation is required to uncover the facts. Even as fresh material comes to light, Dershwitz has continuously maintained his innocence, passionately rejecting any wrongdoing and emphasizing that he was unaware of Epstein's unlawful activities and had no role in them. The claims against Dershwitz, together with the ongoing investigations into Epstein's network, have created considerable concerns and put a shadow on their partnership. The exact nature of their relationship and the extent of their engagement in each other's life remains objects of examination and investigation. Prince Andrew. To understand the alarming charges regarding Prince Andrew's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and his scandalous excursions to Epstein Island, we must first examine the time frame of their association. It all began in the early 1990s, when Prince Andrew met Epstein, who was well known at the time for his links to the wealthy and powerful. Their introduction was through a common friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who would later play a key role in the scandal. As their friendship evolved, Prince Andrew found himself sucked into Epstein's world of luxury and excess. The two men were frequently seen together at numerous social gatherings and parties, rubbing shoulders with the elite. But it wasn't until the early 2000s that the full nature of Epstein's actions came to light. In 2005, Epstein was accused with many charges of sexual abuse involving minors. Despite the culminating charges, Prince Andrew maintained his relationship with Epstein, even visiting Epstein's several estates throughout the world, including his magnificent mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, and Epstein Island. One of the most significant incidents in their relationship occurred in 2008, when Epstein pled guilty to soliciting prostitution from a juvenile. This conviction put light on the scope of Epstein's activities and raised concerns about others who engaged with him. Despite the public attention, Prince Andrew continued his acquaintance with Epstein. In 2010, he was caught walking through Central Park with Epstein, which sparked uproar and fueled the issue surrounding their relationship. In 2015, one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Jeffrey, launched a defamation case against Ghislaine Maxwell, revealing the full scope of Prince Andrew's association with Epstein. Jeffrey said that she was forced to have sexual encounters with Prince Andrew while she was underage, and that she once engaged in a group scene with him and a few other girls on the infamous Epstein Island. These bombshell charges caused shockwaves in the media and among the general public. Prince Andrew angrily denied any wrongdoing, claiming that he had no recall of ever meeting Jeffrey. Nevertheless, Jeffrey alleges that she met him as a juvenile, and that the first night they met, they went to a bar with Giselle and Epstein. On their return, Jeffrey believes that Prince Andrew took advantage of her for the first time. In 2019, Prince Andrew's relationship with Epstein reached a boiling point when he decided to engage in a broadcast interview with the BBC. However, the interview backfired horribly, with Prince Andrew's remarks highly criticized and deemed inappropriate. During the questioning, Andrew denied knowing or having any sexual encounter with Jeffrey and questioned the legitimacy of a picture of him. Jeffrey and Giselle Maxwell had begun circulating in the media. The fallout from the interview was swift and severe. Prince Andrew declared that he would be stepping down from his public duties, and several organizations and institutions terminated links with him. In 2012, Prince Andrew settled a lawsuit made by Virginia Jeffrey by paying her an undisclosed financial payment. However, he did not admit any guilt despite the deal. The suspicions and controversy surrounding Prince Andrew's ties with Epstein still plague him. His position in the British royal family remains uncertain, and the public's opinions of him has been entirely transformed as the investigation into Epstein's crimes and those affiliated with him continues. The scandal surrounding Prince Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein has forever changed the narrative surrounding the British royal family. Despite Epstein's death, the world continues to watch for his co-conspirators and enablers. With that being said, we've arrived at the end of this video. Click on the screen for more videos like this.